Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make another suburban style house. It's been a little while since I've made one of these. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, not only should you check out the description below, which will house all of my tutorial playlists, and I mean every single one of them, but if you want to check out the card system, I will leave some more targeted videos and playlists that I think that you guys will really want to check out. Moving on, if you want to make the house, here's what you're going to need. You will need some block of quartz and some birchwood planks. Grab yourself some birchwood fence and some stone bricks. Then grab yourself some quartz slabs, some quartz stairs, and also, guys, grab yourself some stone brick stairs. And all we're going to need after that is to grab ourselves some white stained glass paint, and I don't think that we'll need any more materials beyond that, but I have been proved wrong before. So once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your house with a row of 28 block of quartz in a row on the floor. That's 28. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Perfect. And then once you have that row of 28, you want to take a sideways view to this 28th block, and going that way towards where that pumpkin is, we want to do a row of 16 block of quartz. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What we then want to do is take a sideways view to this 16th block, and what we now want to do is just match the length of the long road that we have in front of us. So just match the length of it. You can do that by using your eyes, and once we have matched the length, we just want to connect it together, and what we will end up with is a nice rectangular shape on the ground like this. So you just want to have something which should look like that. Now, once you have that, what you then want to do, guys, is add an additional layer of quartz on top of your quartz rectangle. So that first layer of quartz that we have, just slap another layer of quartz directly on top of it. And then once we've done that, we can start adding a few more other details to the house. We can start shaping it a little bit more. But the foundation of the house, it sits on 2 quartz. So I'm still talking about it because we've just... There we go, we have finally finished it. We have our 2 layers of quartz on the ground in our rectangular shape. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. We now want to take each one of the 4 corners of our rectangular shape. We want to go on top of each one of those corners by 8. So, on top of each one of the 4, 8. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we have over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last 2, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we just want to connect each one of those 8 blocks together. So we just want to go all the way around in a rectangular shape, and we just want to turn this thing into a big giant rectangle. But I'm going to let you guys know, just cluing you guys in, don't spill the secret, we're going to have to do this once more. We're going to have to do it because this house, of course, has 2 floors. So, on top of this, we're actually going to be doing more of the same. We're just going to be going on top of each one of the 4 corners by 8, and then we're going to connect them all together, and what we'll end up with is something that is roughly double the size of this. So, once you've got this, guys, you now want to do the very same thing once again. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the 3 other corners as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And coming over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we can just connect each one of those 8 blocks together. What we're then going to do is we will do the outline of... yeah, let's do the outline of the roof, and then we might even do the outline for the garage, whilst we still have... Whilst everything's still quite clearly visible because there's a porch on this house. Yeah, we'll probably do the outline of the roof, then the outline of the garage, and then we can move on to filling in the walls properly. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this, which is perfect, guys. That's exactly what you want. Now, once you've reached this point right here, you now want to come all the way up to the top left-hand corner of the front of your house. By the way, this is the front of my house, but equally so, that side could be the front at the moment since it's all symmetrical. Completely up to you, of course. But this is the front of my house, and coming to the top left-hand corner of it, on top of this block right here, this quartz block, we want to go up by 1 with the quartz. We then want to do 12 upright diagonals from this quartz block. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You then want to go right of that 12th upright diagonal by 1, and then you want to do bottom right diagonals until you connect all the way back to the top of the opposite side of the house. So we're just connecting all the way down, and we're just doing that with diagonals, and we don't have to count them out, obviously, because if everything's went right, we should, just by doing diagonals, connect to the right point, which we have. Well done us, I'm proud of us. So we want to have something which should so far look like this. This is the front of the house. Not only do we want to have this on the front, of course, but we want to have the same thing on the back. So coming all the way over to the back of the house, we want to, starting from, it doesn't really matter which corner, but we'll start with the left-hand side. Starting from this, we want to place our quartz, then our 12 upper right diagonals, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then we want to go right by 1. And then we want to do bottom right diagonals until we eventually connect all the way down to the opposite side. So we're just doing that, guys. And then we can move on to the next bit. So, dry throw. Oh wow, really dry throw. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so we're just going to connect all of these diagonals all the way down to the opposite side of the house until we have literally the exact same thing as we do on the front. Then, once we've done that, we can move on to the outline for the garage. So, once you've got that taken care of, guys, you now want to come back to the front of your house. So, this is the front for me. You want to come midway to the house, and you want to be on the right hand side. So the midway point on the house, which is this right here, I'm sure that you guys can figure out why. You want to take this block on the front right hand side of the house, and you want to extend it to the right by 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then connect that 11th block all the way down to the ground. So you just want to have this shape, kind of a squarish looking shape. Now what you want to do is the exact same thing on the back of the house. So from this midpoint you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, let's start that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then connect that down to the ground. And then you can also connect the 11th blocks together as well. So we can just connect the front to the back. And then we can do the little outline for the roof of the garage. And then we can move on to more fun things. And by more fun things, I mean things. So this is a garage. We're on the front again. And the roof is exactly set out as you might imagine. Why don't we do it from this outer part since it's less squashed here? So from the front right hand side of the roof of the garage, you want to, on top of this block, place a quartz. Then do 4 upper left diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you want to do bottom left diagonals until you connect to the opposite point on the roof. So you just want to have something which should look like this. Of course, not only do you want to do this on the front, but you also want to do the exact same thing on the back as well. So coming to the back here, starting from this outer block, we place 1, then 4 upper right diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do bottom right diagonals until we connect all the way down to the opposite point on the garage. So we just want to end up with something that should look exactly like this. And that's perfect, guys. That's what we want to have so far, which is lovely, isn't it? That's wonderful. So once you've reached this point right here, this is what we're going to do next. It's time for us to actually mess about with the walls of the house. So we're going to start with the entire lower level on the bottom part of the house, then the upper level, then the actual bit underneath the roof, and then we'll probably do the same with the garage, and then we'll add the roofs and the porch and all of that fun stuff. So, you're on the front of the house, and you want to come all the way down to the bottom left-hand corner of it. So, basically, on top of this quartz block right here. Well, going right from on top of this quartz block, you want to do a row of 11 birchwood planks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You then want to place a quartz going right of it. You then want to do 5 quartz going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You then want to go right by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then connect that third block all the way down to the bottom of the house, like that. And what you can also do, guys, is just add a row of horizontal quartz block there, and it kind of turns the door into an A shape, and we can also fill the center of that A shape in with block of quartz, and that's just kind of like the entrance to the house, featured by the letter A. Now, continuing going right of this quartz block that hit the foundation of the house, you can then just proceed to do a row of birchwood planks that continues going right. Now, going round the house in, I guess, what is an anti-clockwise motion, you want to just do an entire row of birchwood planks, like inside of this garage wall. As a matter of fact, this entire inside of the garage wall may as well be filled in with birchwood planks, guys, because there's not going to be any windows or anything like that, because of course, guys, we have the garage here, don't we? So why don't we just completely block off this wall, because it's not really... You know, it's not really important, it's not really featured at all. Why don't we just completely block in this wall with birchwood planks, and we can mess about with it later if we so choose, like we can have an entrance to the garage coming from inside the house into there, which I do on my original version. You can do all sorts of things, but why don't you just completely block in that wall of the garage right there, and we can move to the next position, which is like on the back left-hand side of the house. So on the back left-hand side of the house, guys, all you want to do, you just want to do a layer of birchwood planks that goes all the way around the entire base of the house. So you basically just want to have, other than the front of the house, of course, where it is a little bit different because we have the entrance, all you want to have is a layer of birchwood planks that goes all the way around the base of the house. Very much like that. Quite easy, isn't it? Now, once you've got that taken care of, this next bit is a little bit trickier. So, starting from the right-hand side of the front of the house, so you come into the right-hand side here, starting on top of this birchwood plank, you want to do this sequence of blocks going left. You want to do 1 birchwood, 3 quartz, 2 birchwood, 3 quartz, 2 birchwood. Now, continuing to move through the door, we leave the door alone, we then want to do 2 birch, then 3 quartz, then 2 birch, 3 quartz, 1 birch. Then continuing to wrap ourselves around the house, we want to do 1 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 1 birch. Now continuing to go onto the back of the house, we want to do 1 birch, 1, okay, let's start that again. So 1 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 4 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 1 birch. And once you have that, guys, you've actually pretty well laid out what we're going to have all the way around the base of the house. So what do you want to do next? It's actually quite simple. On top of each one of those 3 blocks of quartz, you want to stack 3 sets of white stained glass paint. So it'll look like this, and this is hard to do without the birch, but it'll look like 1, and 2, and 3, and then a layer of block of quartz on top of the glass. So, guys, you're going to want to have something which should look like this. So, on top of each one of those layers of 3 block of quartz, you want to stack 3 glass, 1 layer of quartz, and then everywhere else surrounding will just be birchwood planks. So, just to show you guys, we want to, for instance, everywhere else around, we just want to have a layer of birchwood planks, and it will look like this. And also, if you want to add this on now, you can. Underneath the windows, we're going to have a layer of upside down quartz stairs. However, I plan to add all of that later, but you guys can do it now if you wish. Look, so why don't we get that taken care of, guys? The way that I'm going to do this, however, is I'm going to add all of the birch wood in first, and then I'm going to add all of the window details in, just because it's easier for me to do that, because basically I don't have very much dexterity when it comes to the glass. I don't like it. It's difficult for me to use. It takes ages, but it's a lot easier for me if I'm adding it into little boxed in sections like this. So I'm just adding all of the birchwood planks first, like I said. I may as well just add a row that goes all the way around the top, actually, because it does. And then I can do the individual rows coming down that separates the windows and all of that fun stuff. So why don't I just do that, and then I can just do all of the separating parts. So once you've added in the layer that goes all the way around the top, if you're using the exact method as I am, you just want to build up the sets of 2 and occasionally 1 birchwood planks that we have around the base of the house, and you can just connect them up, and that will give you all of your little rectangular shapes. Whoops, there we go. It will give you all of your little rectangular shapes, which you can then essentially just fill in with quartz and glass. And I'm going to do the quartz first because I can just kind of like sweep them. So starting from here, I can just add in all of the quartz to the top part of the windows. And then, like I said, I'm then going to add all of the glass in, and that's probably the easiest way for me to do it. Might not be the easiest way for you to do it. That's completely up to you. However, you guys can fill this in exactly how you want to. So, have we got all of the windows? Yep. And now we have the fun of doing all of the white stained glass panes. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'm just going to kind of like do it in strokes. So I'm like going to move all the way around the bottom of the house. I'm going to do the bottom layer, then I'm going to do the top layer of glass, and then I'm going to do the middle layer of glass. And this is just easier for me. It requires a lot less effort than individually building up all of the windows, and it's a little bit more varied. I find that I get less irritated if I do things this way. So like I said, you guys might have already finished it. It's probably faster to just fill in all of the windows at once, but I find this method a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more soothing, a little less irritation. So now we have the worst layer to do, which is the middle layer, but this is why I like to do all the middle bits at once. Like, if you just keep in the same line, you don't have to keep repositioning yourself like this and carefully. There we go. So you can just kind of like move in one straight line, and it's just easier. Just a little tip if you're like me and you're a little bad with the glass pane, but we have actually finished the entire ground floor, and it wants to look a little something like this. Obviously, we haven't got the back in there, but you know, pretend you can see through walls. But that is the entire bottom layer of the house done, guys. Once you've got that taken care of, it's now going to be time for us to move up to the second story of the house. So why don't we do just that? Coming up to the second story, the first thing that we want to do is add a layer of birchwood planks that goes all the way around the bottom of the top of the house, if you guys understand what I'm saying, which I hope you do. So we just want to add a single layer of birchwood planks that goes all the way around the base of the top of the house. So that's exactly what we're doing. Even this inside wall, you know this inside wall that has the garage next to it? We want to do the exact same thing here as well. So we just want to have this. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we can then do the pattern of blocks that goes all the way around. So starting from the left-hand side of the front of the house, you want to do this sequence of blocks that goes all the way around the house. So you want to have something which should look like this. So starting from here, going right, and we're going anti-clockwise, you want to do this. Do 1 birchwood plank, 3 quartz, 2 birchwood planks, 3 quartz, 2 birchwood planks, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 1 birch. Now moving to this inside part where the garage is, we want to do 1 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 1 birch. Now on the back of the house, we want to have 1 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 4 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 1 birch. Now we're on the final side of the house. We want to do 1 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 2 birch, 3 quartz, 1 birch. And whilst I feel as though I actually did that quite quickly, you guys might very easily realize that you see where we've positioned the windows, they're the exact same on the second floor as they are the first floor, including the long ones. So on the second floor, there's a big window right in the center just above the door. It's the exact same width of the door. You guys might be able to grasp that the windows on the second floor are in the exact same position as the first, and they are built roughly the same. As a matter of fact, the only difference between the second floor windows and the first floor windows is this middle one that we have right here. So for the center, middle, on the front and the back window, you want to do this. So on top of the first and fourth blocks of the window, you want to go up by 4 each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect each one of those fourth blocks together like that. And you also want to do the exact same thing with the other window on the back. So on the back, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect everything together, and obviously we'll also fill that in with glass later as well. But once you've reached this point right here, guys, we've marked out all of the windows. Can you guys remember what we have to do now? That's right, we have to add all of the birchwood planks, don't we? So I'm now going to add all of the birchwood planks, then the quartz, then the glass. So we're doing the exact same thing to these windows as we did to the lower set of windows on the bottom half of the house. So Whatever method you want to use, once again, that's completely up to you. But, as you guys know, I prefer the method where I just fill in all of the birch wood first, then the quartz, and then all of the glass, just because I find that easier. You guys, of course, like I keep saying, can do whatever you want, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So, that's all of the birch wood added to the top. We're now going to build up all of the individual birch that connects like the top to the bottom, then the quartz and the glass like I keep saying, and that is going to be little to no fun whatsoever. So what do we have to talk about whilst we're actually doing this? Because there's no reason in just repeating what I'm doing here. Why don't we talk about a subject? So here's a funny thing. This is incredibly mundane, but here's a funny thing for you. I'm starting to think that my room is currently haunted. Now, hear me out. I'm not a lunatic. I don't really believe in ghosts or any of the paranormal or what have you, but I've been watching so many scary movies on Netflix. I really have. Because of Halloween and all of that, I've been watching an incredible amount of them, and I'm starting to believe that the house might in fact be haunted, or more specifically my room. It makes really, really bizarre noises whilst I sleep. Anybody else dealing with this? It's really weird noises. Like, it's not just like pipes creaking and like the movement of a house, as a house does move whilst it's, you know, a house move, it shifts during the day. It's not all 100%, you know, completely solid. Things move, the foundations and all of those weird things. But is in the attic especially, it sounds like there's marbles rolling around. It actually sounds like there's people shifting up around in the attic. Now, it could very well just be the boiler system, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that the Babadook is hiding all the way up in my attic. Now, I haven't been up there. I took a peek once, but the attic's positioned at the top of the stairs, and there's not very much room up there, and you have to get a step ladder to actually get up there. So really, you're risking life and death by getting into the attic. Like, there's a solid, I don't know, like 40% chance that by cracking into the attic, you're gonna be falling downstairs. So, you know, not only are you risking death by trying to get into the attic in the first place, but, you know, the Babadook might be up there, and he might try and get me. So I just thought that I'd point that out, and the reason that came to mind is because whilst I've been doing this, my radiators have just been making the most bizarre noises. It sounds like a squelching noise, and I'm pretty sure that everything's just the boiler system, but I just wanted to let you guys in on that. Plus, there's nothing else to talk about. Do you guys deal with any of this? Do you guys just lay awake at night hearing footsteps or what could be anything just rolling around just above your head? It's not the most pleasant thing whatsoever. It hasn't stopped me sleeping or anything like that. It's just moderately disturbing. That's all. Just moderately disturbing. Plus, it bothers me that I can't really get up there just to see what's happening. But in amongst my paranoia talk, we have actually fully completed the second floor of the house. And you know what, guys? Whilst we are actually, like, in this position, this might be the time to add all of the upside-down quartz stairs to each one of the underneath of the windows. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And if you want to, you can also add, like, quartz stairs at the top of the windows like this. But, actually, I kind of do like that. You may or may not want to do it to the top as well. I think I'm actually going to do it to the top. I didn't originally do it, but after doing that, I kind of like that actually. So I might also do it to the top. I haven't decided yet, but it's looking pretty strong. So I'm just going to do all of the under part first. So yeah, you guys let me know if you made it that far and you made it into crazy talk. You guys deal with any of that? I'm 90% sure it's the boiler. Like 95 really, but there's a 5% chance. There's a 5% chance that somebody is living in that attic just above me and listening to this commentary right now and moving around, frantically trying to move out before I go up there and discover what really is happening up there. I don't know what's happening up there. It could be anything. So, do we want to do it above the windows as well? Yeah, you know what, I didn't do it on the original, but I kind of want to see how it looks. I'm also going to add quartz stairs at the top of the windows as well. Like I said, I didn't do it on the original, but I I kind of want to do it on this one and just see how it turns out. You guys will be able to see the contrast when we have a look at the original version of this house, or when we, hop into my original world. But for now, why don't we just add it at the top? And I'm starting to think that I might not like it, but it doesn't matter. We'll see both versions once we hop over into my other world. So we don't need it above the door. We just need it above all of the other windows. So you guys now think I'm crazy, or you don't. Maybe you believe me. Maybe there's some believers out there believe in ghosts and stuff. So we've just got the opposite set. Yeah, we've just got these ones to do. I thought that I left these out, but once these are done, we can actually move on to the patterning just below the roof. So actually that really doesn't look too bad. I kind of like it. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, you might notice that the next big obstacle that we've got to take care of, we've got to take care of the roof, haven't we? That's what we're going to be taking care of next. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. So come to the front of the house and come all the way up to the center part of it. You guys can see just above this, this middle window, this window of 4, you want to do a row of birchwood planks, a row of 4 birchwood planks just above this window, like in the same line. You guys can see what I'm saying. And then on top of that row of birch, you want to do a row of quartz. Then on top of the first and 4th quartz blocks, you want to go up, each by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect each one of those 4th blocks together at the top, and that will form a nice little window. Now, on top of the 2 middle blocks of the window, stack 2 birch wood. Then you want to do 2 blocks of quartz on top of the birch. Then do 2 rows of 2 glass pane. And then do a block of quartz going all around those 4 glass pane blocks. And this will form yet another little mini window. So we want to have something which should look like this. Now, there are 2 additional windows which I'm not massively fond of either side of this rectangular window. So on the left, for instance, we want to do a row of birchwood planks going left, and then a row of block of quartz going left of the birch. We then want to, starting from this bottom quartz block, go left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go up by 1, and then do upright diagonals until you connect to the upper part of that. And that's supposed to be a window as well. But I'm not massively stuck on that window, and you might want to remove it if you really want to, if you feel strongly about it, because I don't really like that window that much. We could even turn it into a rectangular window, which I might do later on. But that's the first window, and of course there's an opposite window on the other side. So here we just do a row of birch, then a row of quartz, and then from this bottom quartz block we go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do 1 going up, and then up left diagonals until we connect to the top row right here, and what we'll end up with should look a little bit like this, and that's just the middle part underneath the roof. And not only is it like this on the front of the house, but it's the exact same thing on the opposite side of the house. So why don't we go and do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and then we can fill it all in with the various materials. So we're on the back of the house now. On top of these 4 middle blocks, we want to do a row of 4 birchwood planks, then a row of 4 quartz. And then on top of the left and right, we go up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect each one of those 4th blocks together. On top of these top 2 center blocks, 2 birchwood planks, then 2 quartz on top, then 2 rows of 2 quartz on top of the block, on top of the block of quartz, then a quartz going all around, like this. So we have this little circular window looking thing, and then left and right of this rectangular shaped window, we want to do birchwood planks, and we want to make this triangular shaped windows. So this bottom block, left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we go up by 1, and then we can do upright diagonals. And of course, if you don't care about my instructions, just look directly forward and you can just copy it, or just remember how we did it. It wasn't too long ago, I'm sure that you guys can probably remember. So we're just doing this opposite window now, this bottom block, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up by 1. I'm not sold on these triangular windows, and I'm trying desperately right now to think of another option. So we're on the back of the house. We've completed all of the windows. All we have to do now is obviously fill all of the windows in with glass, and everywhere else can get filled in with birchwood planks. After we've done this, we're going to add all of the details to the garage minus the roof, and then we're going to do both roofs in one go. And the roofs are probably going to take a little while just because they're kind of big, but they're quite simple as well. So that's all of the glass filled in on the back. Why don't we just fill everywhere else in with birchwood planks? I was going to... Whoops, hang on. I didn't realise that my chair was going to do that. Okay, so I was going to fill the front of the roof in with glass, and then I was going to do like birch, all of it, but whilst we're on the back, we may as well finish this off, and then we can move on to the front and do the exact same thing instead of just trying to stick to one material at a time. So after we've done this to the back, like I said, same thing to the front. Then we can mess about with the garage and then the roofs, and then we'll be done. So this is the under part of the roof. Like I said, not a massive fan of those two triangular windows, but there's very little that I can do that still keeps the shape of the roof. So once you've got that taken care of on the back, we can then do the exact same thing on the front. So coming to the front here, we're just gonna fill in these little windows with all of their various white stained glass pane needs, and then we can do the rest of it in with birchwood planks. And we're not going to delve into any weird off-topic stuff until we go back onto the roof. So until then, I'm just going to keep repeating over and over again that this is exactly what we're doing. We're just doing this over and over again. That really is a struggle. When it comes to like little short things like this, what do you say in between doing this and like moving on to something else? Like, there's nothing to talk about other than just fill the thing in. So that's exactly what we've done there. That is what you want to have on the front. That is what you want to have on the back. That is the under part of the roof. Once you've got all of that taken care of, guys, we can now move on to the next bit. Oh, and if you want to, of course, you know this middle window up at the top, you can add your upside down quartz stairs and your quartz stairs all the way up at the top of it as well. And you can also do the exact same thing at the back. I just completely forgot about that for a second there, but you can have that on the front and the back if you so choose, like so. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we're now going to fill in the garage. The garage is relatively simple, so let's take care of the easy parts of the garage, and then we'll take care of the harder part of the garage. So the outer wall of the garage, which is this one, and the back wall of the garage just first of all have to be completely filled in with birchwood planks. So why don't we do that, and then we can focus on the garage door, and we can do the little bits of the bits underneath the roof of the garage, and then we can focus on, well, I guess we can, whilst we're at the garage, we'll do the little mini roof first, because why not, because we'll be here, and then we can do the actual main part of the roof. Oh my god, this house has a porch! I completely forgot about that. Hey guys, after the roof, guess what? There's more to do. We have a porch to make. How could I forget about that? How can I forget about that? It's literally staring me in the face. My plans are looking at me right now. Huh. Yeah, you know, I almost forgot about that. I almost forgot that that even existed, but we're currently filling in the back part of the garage. After this, we're going to fill in the front part of the garage, and it's actually quite easy. I don't know why I said that it's like a hard part. I said harder, which it is in comparison to these, but it's kind of easy. So once you've got the back and the side filled in, starting from the bottom left-hand side of the garage, this is what you want to do. So you just want to basically do this repeating pattern. You want to do one row of birch, then above it, a row of quartz. Row of birch, row of quartz. So on and so forth, starting from the bottom of the garage, starting with birch. You just want to alternate between a birch and quartz, coming all the way up the garage door. And that's all you want to do, guys. You just want to repeat that over and over again, and eventually you'll just reach the top here. I can't believe that I've only just realised it now, guys, but the garage is ever so slightly off-centre, but there's an easy way to fix it. So here is the centre of the roof. So at the very centre of the roof at the bottom, that's where the actual pull part of the garage is. That's how you get the door open. But you'll realise that there's more birch on the left than there is the right. So do yourself a favour and, for the sake of my OCD, just add an additional layer of quartz on the left hand side here, which will balance things out, and do the exact same thing on the back. So coming to the back, we just want to add an additional layer of quartz, and I don't know why I didn't realise that on the original version, because the measurements for the garage are right, and there we go. That just makes things a little bit better. That makes things balance out a little bit more. So there we go. That is what you want to have for the garage door so far and all that fun stuff. Why don't we fill the underparts of the roof in now? So for the underparts of the roof, it's actually quite simple. In the very center, we just want to have like a smaller version of that circular window that we have right at the top center of the house. So there we go. We just want to have a circular window, and then we can do birchwood planks everywhere else. So we can just do this. And then we can do the exact same thing on the back. So on the back, it's like I said, it's like a smaller version of that little window that we have at the top center part of the house. It's just 4 quartz blocks with white stained glass pane right in the center, and then it's just birch wood planks all around that, and then everything's good all around. So we just want to have something which should look like this. Now, once you've got that taken care of, all we have to do is the roofs and the porch. Guys, there's a porch, did you know? So, once you've got that taken care of, why don't we move on to the little mini roof that is above this garage? It's quite easy. So, the actual main roof functions like this as well. The actual first row of the roof that starts outside of the outline, so the outline of the actual roof, the structure of it, the first row is quartz. The middle part is stone bricks, and the very top center part of the roof is quartz slab, which runs all the way to the top. The bits that overhang the front and back part of the roofs are also quartz. So if you guys can just kind of like imagine, and there's going to be a block of quartz there as well, and there's also going to be underhanging quartz stairs. If you guys can imagine, it's going to look a little something like this. If you can imagine the stone brick stairs all the way back and what have you, you can kind of see how this is going to go. The first layer of the actual roof, the bit that overhangs, underhangs, all quartz, middle bit, stone brick stairs. Let's move on. So that is the roof, guys, both sides. That's exactly what you want to have. There's nothing really much to say about it. The only thing we have to do now is fill it in, and not only are we going to do this to the garage, but the actual main part of the roof as well is very, very similar to this. Is the only difference with the main part of the roof, you know, the apex of the roof, the top part of the roof, the top middle bit, the pointy bit, well, we have two quartz up at the top there instead of just like the single, and that'll just mean that two back-to-back quartz stairs will connect there instead of us having to place any slab up there. That's all that means, but other than that, it's all very much the same, and we just deleted a stair there. We're just putting the edges of the roof on first, and then that'll allow us to simply do the middle part uninterrupted, and that'll just be a little bit easier for me, but you guys can use whatever method you want. So that's like the overhanging part of the roof, and now we just have to do the exact same thing to the front left hand side of it, and then we can do, as I keep repeating, then we can do the middle part uninterrupted. So that's probably enough roof talk. What do we have to talk about, guys? What has happened? What has happened? Why don't we talk about the weather a little bit in England right now? I don't know how it is in America, which is where most of my viewing base is from. Most of it. I think over 50% of you guys are American. I know that it all varies in your states and all of that fun stuff. I know, for instance, Alaska right now, unless I'm wrong, probably cold and snowy. It's probably very much like England, except we don't have any snow. It's been raining here for, oh god, I don't know, for as long as I can remember. It's been raining here for over a week, maybe 2 weeks. It's depressing. I don't like it. I like getting outside. I like going for a bit of a run. I like going on my bike. I just like walking in general. But it is so goddamn miserable out there, guys. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's no fun there whatsoever in the outdoors. I've just been cuddling up inside. That's why I've been watching so much Netflix. So that's why. It's because it's been miserable, it's been Halloween, it's been dark, it's been spooky. The stupid fireworks. Do you guys have bonfire night in America? I don't know if you guys actually have bonfire night, because it's all Guy Fawkes and all that fun stuff like blowing up Parliament. Do you guys have that? Do you guys have bonfire night? I never even thought about this. I've got no clue whether you guys do. I mean, maybe you do just because we have it, but I've never thought about this. You guys wouldn't have a reason. Well, you don't really need a reason to set off fireworks, right? On the 5th of November, you guys let me know. I'm going to Google it anyway. You guys let me know whether you set off a load of fireworks and have bonfires, because we do. So that is the roof to the garage, guys. That is it 100% fully completed. It's actually looking pretty nice, isn't it? Well, once you've done that to garage, we want to do the exact same thing up all the way up at the top main part of the house. So do you guys have that? It was actually kind of depressing. It's on the 5th of November, if you guys don't know. I'm just guessing, because I don't know if you do. It was raining, it was miserable, it was windy, nobody wanted to be outside, but they did anyway. They kept me awake with their stupid fireworks. I live near some allotments, which is basically like little gardens away from home that people have, in like loads of rows and rows and rows and little plots. Well, I just kind of had a bit of a walk on bonfire night, and there was like, I don't know, 20 people huddled around a little miserable fire. the smallest fire that you've ever seen. It was really just an ember. It wasn't really a fire. They were all huddled around it. They all had little sparklers. It was kind of cute, really. They all had little sparklers. These are adults, by the way. And they were just setting off fireworks. Or at least they were trying to set them off. Because it was raining, it was windy, it was miserable. And I'd call them insane. But I was out there as well. I was walking. I was walking outside, but they were trying to do things with fire in the rain, and I feel as though that, that puts me just one level above. One level below them in insanity, really. So I just thought that was kind of funny. England really is the most miserable place to have fun ever. It really is. That's what I'm getting at. It's just the most miserable place to have fun. It's getting so dark so early here, guys. It's literally depressing. It is. Like, if you overslept, there's a solid chance that it will be dark, like, when you wake up and go to bed. Like, I explained that poorly. Like, if you oversleep, let's say you get up at like 4 in the afternoon or 4 in the evening, however you want to look at it, there's a solid chance it'll just be pitch black outside. Then you've got to spend the rest of your day in darkness until the early morning. Then you go to bed, it's dark, and then what happens? You oversleep again. It's just dark forever. It's like you're living in a horror movie. It's like Transylvania. There's thick fog everywhere. It's raining. It's dark all the time. It's no fun. It's freezing. Guys, I want to move. I don't want to be here anymore. It's too miserable. Hawaii, how's Hawaii? Do you have any rain there? It doesn't seem so. The only thing that I might the only problem that I can see from Hawaii is the molten rain. If those volcanoes go off, or volcano, I don't know how many you have over there. I'm bad at geography. That's the only thing that might ruin my day. But anywhere else in Hawaii just seems like a big party. It seems fun over there, and there's nothing keeping me here really. When I think about it, I could just come over there, get a good internet connection, and do what I'm doing now just over there, and be happy in the warmth on the beach. I imagine that there's beaches everywhere. I've only rarely seen Hawaii from like various TV programs and movies. I don't really know too much about it. I don't know if it even rains. I don't know what the coldest temperatures are, but all I can tell you is I know why people emigrate for half a year. All of the old people in this country, they all go on holiday to Spain as soon as the cold weather moves in. It's like birds migrating. You know when birds migrate for like the summer or the winter or whatever, they're like, nah, we don't like this cold climate anymore. We're going to a warmer one. That's what old people do in this country, and rich people, which I'm neither of those. But I wish I was. It'd be nice. Except old. I don't want to be old. What am I talking about? I just want to be a rich person. I don't want to be old. Old and rich. No, still no. No, who wants to be old? No. No, what am I talking about? That's not a good idea at all. Who wants to be old? Then again, you do get discounts. Bus pass. Nobody judges you anymore. You can kind of do what you want. Everybody's kind of checked out. They all seem to be good at baking as well, old people. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I don't know how to bake. Maybe I'd just immediately learn it. I wonder, there just seems to be old people's skills that they seem to accrue over time, or they just seem to magically appear out of nowhere. Like, they know how to do just about anything mechanical, anything to do with the car, they can just figure it out, like change a wheel, change like brake fluid and stuff. They just seem to manage to do that over time. Stuff that I have no idea how to do. They just know things like, I don't know, like house improvements and repairs and stuff. It's like they just know things. I wonder if they learn that over time, or whether it's just like they reach the age of 60 and then it's just like some guy in a wizard's robe shows up and it's like, you know now. It's like unlocking the truth. They touch them on the forehead and they're like, ah! And then they just know everything. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? This is what happens when I'm building roofs, guys. This is what happens when I just start making things. I start going on to weird tangents. I don't even know how we got here. Was it the weather? I think it was the weather. Which is still miserable. I can hear it raining out there. It's awful. I don't even have my blind open. I'd rather be in the artificial light than the dim light of the outdoors. I'd rather be here. In this not so safe. I almost blinded myself actually looking at the ball, but I don't like doing that. You know when you guys, like, if you close your eyes and then you look at like a really bright light and then you close them again and you start seeing like those coloured blobs like in front of your eyes? I hate that. I hate that a lot. I just did it again. I did it again. That's no good. Okay. So we've just about finished for this just about finished with this roof, thank God, before I say anything more stupid. We've just got the top middle part to do, and then we can move on to the final part, which is of course going to be the porch. So is that the front of the house or the back? Oh, this is the front of the house. So it wants to look, and I can get a more angular view here, it wants to look a little bit like this. Doesn't that look fancy? It kind of does, doesn't it? I kind of like it from this angle. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. It's now time for us to do the porch. The porch is quite easy. So the porch is on the front of the house, and it is in line, like, you know that block that we extended to the right for the garage? Well, we want to take that very same block, and we now want to extend it forward by 7. So we're on, like, the front middle part of the house. We take this block, extend it forward by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want to do the exact same thing with this opposite block. I kind of put the roof there, but we can get rid of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect not only those 7th blocks to the ground, but you also want to connect them to each other as well. So I've just connected that one to the ground, but it also wants to be connected all the way over to the opposite side. So connect them to the ground, connect them together. So we just want to end up with this shape, and it's just kind of like a rectangular extension on the front of the house. Now, once you've done that, this is what you want to do next. You can actually go all the way around the edge of the, like, all around the edge of the porch. You can go around it with your quartz stairs, and that just kind of like makes it look a little bit nicer. So we may as well do that whilst we're here. Plus, we may as well also fill in the top of the porch with our quartz blocks. So I did originally plan to have this kind of like in layers a little bit. Like at the top of the porch, I was going to do like a layer of quartz slabs that sat like at the top of the porch, and it'd make it look as though it was a little bit more angular, it'd make it look as though it was a little bit more slanted, which I wanted. But the issue was that underneath the windows, because we've got the upside down quartz stairs under there, it left like a black mark, a black streak underneath the windows, and I didn't like that. Otherwise the porch would look a little bit more shapely, which is, like I said, it's kind of what I wanted. But you know, you can't always get what you want. So this is the roof of the porch taken care of. Everything's a little dark now, we can solve that later. What you now want to do is you want to do 2 rows of quartz going all around the base of the porch. So you guys can see what I'm kind of doing. You just want to do 2 layers of quartz that goes all the way around the base of the porch, and this is just to build it up a little bit. You guys know that the foundation of the house is of course 2 quartz high. We want the same thing for the base of the house, or for the porch as well. What am I talking about? For the base of the porch as well. So it just wants to look a little bit like this, which is perfect. Once you've done that, this is what you want to do next. So the entrance to the porch is actually in line with the entrance to the house. So it'll look a little something like this. We just want to have 2 sets of stairs coming up on the porch, leading like to the house. So in the 2 center blocks, we just want to have 2 sets of stairs that allow you to get up on the porch. You can then proceed to fill the center top part of the porch in with quartz blocks, and then we can go all the way around the porch with our birch wood fence. Is that what it is? But yeah, birch fence. There we go. It is birch fence. I always forget the names of them because there's so many of them, and honestly, there's a new wood, I don't even know the name of it. It's called like alopecia or something, which I'm pretty sure is some sort of disease. It's where you start losing your hair, but I'm pretty sure that that's what the wood's called. Either that or it's like alpine or something. I don't really care. But I think it's like a grey orange looking wood. I'm actually going to check right now just so I don't feel stupid. Oh yeah, Acacia? Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not even going to... Arkham? I don't know. However you pronounce that, that's the wood that I was thinking of. Disgusting looking colour anyway. So that is what you want to have for the porch so far, guys. And if you want to just finish this off, you can place some birch fence going all the way around the edge of it like this. And you can just skip off the entrance, obviously, and just go all the way around the edge of it. And that'll actually be the house 100% fully completed once you've got that taken care of. So what you want to have, guys, it should look a little bit like this. And I know that the actual like under part of the house, like the bit like underneath the porch, I know that that's dark. You can light that up with torches so easily, but that is actually the structure of the house, guys. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? So what I'm now going to do, now that the structure of the house is fully complete, in my other world, I've taken care of the garden, I've taken care of the inside just a little bit. I've not really taken care of the inside. I've taken care of the garden on the original version. Why don't I show you what that looks like? Why don't I show you how nice and colourful it looks and how suburban it looks looks with my original version rather than doing it to this one. So tutorial portion is over, guys, but I'm now going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the original version just so you guys can see how it looks. And plus, I'm going to add the stairs above the windows on the original version before I show you guys it, because I actually quite like it. Back in a mo. Alright guys, welcome to the original version of my suburban house. I've literally just finished lighting it up a little better, plus I've also added the stairs just above and below the windows. Did I do it too? Yeah, I did. I couldn't tell. I thought I didn't do it to that middle window then, but I did. So, this is what it looks like. Why don't I show you guys the inside first, and then I'll show you guys the outside. So, the inside really isn't too much to be marveled at. As a matter of fact, all I've done with the inside is I've just placed the floors. I've not even done any stairs or anything like that. Mainly because there's so many options with the inside of the house. I didn't want to place the stairs anywhere. I figured that you guys can figure that out for yourself. So, this is a ground floor. As you can see, loads of room, plenty of room. There's a little entrance to the garage here, which I have in this back corner. It seems like the most responsible place for it. We've got some stairs walking down. We've got the bottom of the garage filled in with some stone bricks. That's the inside bottom layer of the house. Why don't we move up to the second story here? Again, same story. There's so much room. You can do whatever you want with this thing. It's actually quite big. You can do anything with this. I didn't want to place any staircases because it's so open. You could place it here, 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 anywhere. You could have this laid out any way that you want. And even coming up to the attic here, the attic itself is quite big, and they're not usually, because we have this big underpart of the roof on the front and back of the house. There's a massive amount of space up here, and I actually quite like this just because of how lit up it is, just because of how many windows and stuff there are. You can do whatever you want with this house. It's actually quite massive, and I didn't really want to do anything to it. It's so big. You guys know I don't like interiors. I figured, hey, why not skip it? Why not focus a little bit more attention on the outside of the house? So that's how much room you're dealing with, guys. You can have it set up any way you like. I just really wanted to show you that. So, moving to the outside of the house, what has changed here? Well, the main thing, and really the big main difference is that we have a path that goes all the way around the house, and encapsulated in the path is a couple of things. We have a couple of flower beds. We have one on the left hand side of the house which spans all the way from the porch all the way to the back of the house, and it's just one row away, and it looks a little something like this. If you want to copy that, you can. It's very simple. I'm sure that you guys would be able to manage that without any issues. And we also have the exact same thing on the right hand side. So from the porch all the way to the back of the house, we just have a flower bed on the right hand side of the house as well. And then we have a little like driveway which feeds into the path that we have going all the way around the outside the house, and you guys can see how this works. So like from the porch, the path is, there's a separation of 2 blocks, so it's on the 3rd row away from the house. Then we've got 2 layers of stone bricks, then another layer of quartz. And on the final layer of quartz, that's where we have the fence going all the way around the house. And you guys can see it just stays 2 blocks away from anything, including the flower beds, including the pool, which we have at the back of the house. So the pool sits 2 blocks away from the house, and then I believe that that's actually 3 away from the... yeah, 3 away from the actual pathway, but you can kind of space it any way you want. The pool, if you want to copy this layout, the pool, like I said, 2 blocks away, and it is like the width of the house, not including the garage. The pool is the width of the house, not the garage. And there's not really too much to say. It just looks nice, it just looks clean, it just looks tidy. I can't imagine that you'd have too many issues building this whatsoever. It looks very nice. Hopefully quite easy to build as well. I mean, it is easy to build, it just takes a while. So, why don't we take off the UI, why don't we look around this thing, and why don't we talk about this next bit. So guys, if you've managed to make it, if you like it, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out, guys. I would just always vastly appreciate. I decided to take a little break off of making like realistic buildings, like the last 2 I've done, Subway and Starbucks. I've made those, and I thought that I might actually make a house for once. Well, I do make houses. I've been making some survival style houses on the Wednesdays, but I thought that I'd make something a little bit bigger, something a little bit, well, not different, because, you know, I've made suburban houses in the past, but I wanted to make something different than what I've been doing usually, and you guys might be able to see that over there I've been working on Tesco's as well. So I'm not sure whether that's going to be the next thing that you guys see, because I don't particularly like the version of it that I've made, but I've been working on it. So if you wouldn't mind, guys, like, favorite, share on this video if you'd like to help me out. Feel free to check out the description of the video for all of my various tutorial playlists, including the card system, in which I will leave not only more targeted playlists but more targeted videos that, again, I think that you guys will get a kick out of. I think that you guys will like whatever I put in there. Like, favorite, share. Once again, I can't repeat that enough, guys. If you really would like to help me out, like, favorite, share. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.